So I'm Richard Murray, professional South African triathlete. I've been racing for the past 10 years all around the world. I'd love to share this knowledge with you on finance as a professional athlete myself, how I've gone about doing that, how you can go about doing that, and yeah, how much money triathletes make at the end of the day. People that have different varied opinions on how much money triathletes really make, kind of the prize monies and those things that they make or athletes make isn't always out there in the media, and it isn't always shown the same as tennis, golf, some of the other really big individual sports out there in the world. And yeah, so during this video, I'm going to tell you all about that, from the different things of sponsorship towards management, towards races, towards incentives, start monies, all these different types of things. And I hope you're going to enjoy this video. If you can, give it the like button as well as subscribe if you're new to the channel. That would be amazing. And yeah, hope you're going to enjoy this video with me.
Go, take it.
I started off way back in 2010 and literally only had my father helping me with sponsorship, with management, with travel, with financing, everything. And yeah, that was definitely a really tough start and very upbringing to my financial career. My manager is going to be coming on the channel as well to explain to everyone a little bit around how management works and how much he thinks the professional top triathletes make. It's going to be very, very interesting, so stay tuned. Towards the end of this video, he'll be coming on and he'll be explaining to everyone how much he thinks the top professional triathletes make. He probably has a better idea than I do because that's his field of work. And so, yeah, I'll start off with number one. The most important thing is sponsors. You know, you can have a very long-term relationship with those company. And if you have a whole bunch of different companies that support you, those all add up. You know, there's smaller amounts. You know, different companies have different values, and they have different amount of finances available for their marketing department. And obviously that marketing department then trickles down to some of the athletes. And to get your cut of that, you need to be a really good athlete. So one of the world's top athletes to make some really good finance off those sponsors. Kind of in the middle, you know, you'll probably only be able to get products from a certain amount of those sponsors. And then right down to the bottom, literally you'll get discount from some of those companies. And that's all you'll be able to receive from those companies. So there's a different level of sponsorship you can receive from each company, and it obviously depends on what type of company that is, and also how much that company is willing to invest into sponsorship and sponsoring triathlon specifically. So the second most important thing to have to make money as a professional triathlete is to have a manager. So having a manager is extremely important. I didn't have a manager right at the start. It took me about 5 years as a professional, 4 years as a professional to actually get a manager. My manager is going to be coming on the channel as well to explain to everyone a little bit around how management works and how much he thinks the professional top triathletes make. And then racing. So number three, racing is extremely important. Obviously, if you're not racing triathlon, there's no point in looking for sponsors or for management or for those different types of things. So you need to be racing. There's different prize monies at different events. There's obviously, you have the Ironman distance events and you have the Olympic distance events, so ITU style of racing. You also have Xterra. And I think you have probably a few more different types of kind of third or fourth tier type events. So Kona is probably one of the biggest prize money races of the year, every year. And yeah, if you can have a look here, this is just the breakdown of the prize money. And yeah, the prize money, you know, for world champs in Kona is massive. And it's definitely something, you know, ITU has definitely been pushing, and they've definitely been lifting their game over the years. So ITU prize money, you can see here in this top down here, this is the breakdown for the World Triathlon Series. If you become world champion, and then obviously the breakdown, they have the prize pool at the end of the year. And yeah, so the athletes race a whole series of races during the year, and they get prize money from each one of these races. The better you are, obviously, the more money you are going to make. And yeah, definitely those are the two different tiers. Kona World Series and then the World Triathlon Series events. You also have World Cups, which are one tier down from WTS. They pay $7,500 for a win, and obviously it goes all the way down the different rankings. And yeah, then there's obviously European Cups, Continental Cups, and smaller events which pay a much smaller amount than the World Triathlon Series does. You also have Xterra. The prize money on the Xterra is usually similar to the Continental Cups for ITU, so that's also kind of a little bit lower down on the scale on prize money. Yeah, if you win the World Triathlon Series Grand Final, I think you pick up about $82,000 in that region. And for Kona, I think it's just over $100,000, $120,000 in that region if you win Kona. And yeah, those are kind of the two big prize money races for triathlon, along with the PTO Triathlon Series now that's recently came up in Daytona. The prize money there is also a massive $100,000, and the prize money really stays in the PTO series. The prize money definitely stays high up as you go further down the ranks. So a massive good well done to PTO. They're doing a massive great job for triathlon and bringing the value of triathlon up a hell of a lot. So number 4 is, as I said, federation. Athletes will be can be supported financially by their federations, and it varies differently, different for each athlete. So you're either on the national funding where you're going to Olympics, then you have kind of a tier down where you'll be sponsored by obviously the Olympic Committee will be taking care of those athletes that are possibly going to the Olympics. Then you obviously have your national federation, your triathlon governing body for the country, and they'll be supporting a broader range of athletes from different levels, from juniors progressing through the ranks all the way up to the elites, who probably get all travel expenses covered, as well as a salary in some cases for the real top athletes. And so on to my manager, Adam Akworth. I'll just bring him here into the video. He's been managing me for the past, I don't want to get it wrong now, probably 4 years, 5 years perhaps. Brought me some amazing sponsorship deals. So on to you, Adam Akworth. It's not working. Come on, go!
Hi guys, I'm Adam Akworth. Richard's asked me to come onto this video, hopefully to give you a bit of a better insight into how much a triathlete makes. Background on me, I've been an agent for the last 10 years across multiple sports, and then more recently, over about the last 5 years, I've been working with a whole range of top triathletes, including obviously Richard, but also Christian Blumenfeld, Gustav Iden, Rachel Klammer, among many others. Richard's asked me a number of questions, which hopefully I can answer you and give you a bit more of an insight. But the one thing I will say is obviously I can't give away any confidential information, and obviously I can't speak specifically about any particular triathlete. So hopefully this will give you a better insight into how much a triathlete makes. So the first question is, how does a top triathlete make their money? And for me, there are really 3 core areas. The first is commercial endorsements, so where they will endorse products and companies, and within that they would expect to receive a retainer and then get performance bonuses for winning major races or even finishing on the podium. The second element is, of course, prize money. And then the third element, which is becoming more and more within triathlon, is personal appearances. As we see new races and new race series coming, often the top triathletes will be asked to race these events and in return will be paid to do so. Of course, the main question is, how much does a triathlete make? And of course, this completely depends. You may have your guys who are multiple world champions or Olympic champions. They could be easily making over $500,000 a year, and in some instances into the millions. But unfortunately with triathlon, it drops off very quickly. So once you really go out of the world top 5 or perhaps even world top 10 within long course and Olympic distance, well, that money drops off very quickly. But you would probably look, if you were in, say, a world top 5 athlete, and you had some good commercial partnerships there, you would probably look to be making $250,000 to maybe $500,000 a year. So guys, hopefully that has helped. If you have any further questions, please feel free to hit us up on Instagram at Santara Group or at Adam Akworth. I'm sure Richard will put the details in below. But hopefully we've been helpful. And if you're an up and coming triathlete wanting to make a good living, well, you know who to come to.
So the answer to how much triathletes make in general, I'm going to guess somewhere in the region of, depending on obviously the athletes, it's very specific. So if you're just starting to try and make a lot of finance, it's not going to happen. You kind of have the athletes in the medium part of the range, which probably get from anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 in the year, perhaps direction of $40,000 for kind of majority of the athletes, depending on your sponsorships and whatnot. And then you have the high-end athletes, the ones who win Kona, the ones who have the biggest sponsors, the ones who become world champions. They can earn anywhere in the region of $200,000 to $400,000. Some probably even earning more than $400,000 per year. I definitely think it's interesting. It varies a lot between the athlete that earns the most, but I think in the region of $200,000 to $600,000 or $400,000 is probably the highest earning triathletes. Compare that on the scale of golfers, cricketers, rugby players, tennis players. It's extremely small. Tennis players earn in the region of millions, as well as soccer players earn in the region of millions. So triathlon's still got a way to go. Definitely improving year on year, and I can't wait to see what triathlon will be earning their athletes in the coming years. And here's a little bit of a bonus. One big thing triathletes can look into as well with the social media is things like YouTube. Recently now as well, I've just started doing that. It's kind of like a secondary income to my triathlon racing. Definitely something I find pretty cool. It's a little bit more involved than Instagram and Twitter and those different types of social media platforms. So definitely investing and having a third or even fourth income revenue can be very good. So just as a triathlete, make sure you cover kind of all your bases. Definitely it's important to make sure that you get those start fees where you can as well from events. So you can go out to events and approach them for a certain start fee. That's something that's very unique, to know your value as a triathlete and go out to those companies or go out to those events. Tell them you want to take part of that event, and you can tell your value, whether it's say $500, $1,000, perhaps $1,500, $2,000. Some of the top athletes even request somewhere $50,000 to the direction of $100,000 appearance fees for some events. So it definitely varies on the athletes and depends on how much obviously you're willing to invest into that certain event. Looking forward to making some more videos on the specific topic of finance and of sponsorship. So if you would like to see more videos like that, please go ahead and write down in the comments what type of videos you would like to see, and we can see if we can make those videos for you. Remember, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I hope you enjoyed this video on triathlon and money. Okay, that was a very lame ending, but I'll throw it in anyway.